Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EU4 Grandest Virtual Party. My name is Adaway, and I'm joined for a stint commentating on this lovely event with my very good friend, Christo. Say hi, Christo.
Oh, hoi. Welcome back. Let's get into this thing. But we're off. Yes, Wallachia does have the true vampire. They have Vlad Draculesti. Fantastic.
So we have quite a war going on up in Scandinavia as well. Holland's had quite a good start, getting some regions and reducing Burgundy, and then Sweden, Sweden, is trying to do its independence war against the Danish.
Right.
And it's going not
Backed
well.
by the English, but the Dutch. Holland is backing the Danes, so looks like.
Yeah, I mean, backed by the English, but I'm looking at 17,000 English troops sat in the Hebrides, doing
they had to
nothing.
They had to siege down the Orkneys, you see. So.
It's the most important island. It's the most important province of the whole.
To me, right now, there's a couple of theaters. The players are just devouring AI and trying to position themselves to, be in the best position to move forward. We've got the division of the Balkans, which right now, you gotta say, monarchists are winning handily. So we'll call that score 1 to the monarchists. Then we've got Iberia, right? And Iberia, so far, it's also kind of looking like it's falling to the monarchists, but not at the same kind of pace. Then France. The thing is, the traders need to get a look in on France, because if France ends up going monarchist as well, it's going to become way too dominant. There are seven in each league. Yeah, that's right. And then there's England. The traders have a look in, but the difficulty is going to be if the monarchists yet again with their Irish holdings can begin to try and monopolize that. And then there's the HRE, which is, it's more complicated, basically. It's just more to it. We've got both theocratic and traders vying for control here. Cologne looking like they're coming out on top so far, but we'll see. No blue flames for now.
But Yorga has a good spot as well. I think so. I think early game is just about finding the best spot against the AI, and not getting like teams that get bogged down too much fighting other players at this stage in the game are going to suffer later on, because you need to try and monopolize as much as you can of the AI. For example, Albania's got the Ottomans east, and they've got Hungary to the north, which is big AI areas.
Sorry to interrupt, but there is the Aragonese peace deal, Mallorca, taking all that land bordering Navarra. What a power play! You love to see it. And they've liberated Valencia as a subject, which is going to give them cause that they can feed back on the south now. We can, of course, use the beautiful new feature. I can hover over this core and show the ones that are available. That's pretty nice. Cleaved Aragon in twain. And release Catalonia.
Is now at war with Aragon.
Okay, so this is...
Castile.
Right.
Yeah. So it's going to be a stomp. Yeah, it's 4,000 troops on Aragon's side now against like 40.
Aragon is definitely doomed, but this is still that's blue flames coming right up, because Mallorca now has a reconquest CB on all of Aragon's lands in Iberia, and Genoa likewise grabbing some land down in Sicily. Probably going to release that and then maybe vassal feed the rest of Sicily, I would imagine, but we'll see. Albania's war with the Pope and Venice continuing. They've got their sieges starting up there. Going a bit further afield, just taking a look at who's doing what. Sweden did not manage to turn that war around. F in chat for the Paradox officers, just siege down there. The Knights are something we hadn't looked at
Mamluks, and they just tried to call somebody in, and I'm not sure they accepted.
This looks aggressive. The Knights going 5-1 against the Mamluks in the Mamlukian... it's the Mamlukian conquest of Cyprus. Okay.
Yes. So the Knights, Byzantium and Wallachia, basically.
Wallachia evens things up a bit, but not enough. And the Knights' army is divided and separated by a Mamlukian fleet that they could take, but if it was reinforced by this one, probably not. We'll see. And yeah, juicy Persian trade money potentially for Georgia.
They're being attacked actually. The Knights' army in Adana.
I was gonna say the Knights have been doing well so far, managing to grab Cyprus, Adana, but
he got them out.
On the last day, just sneaking into Cyprus. You love to see it. What's the war goal? It's Cyprus. Okay, so they will need to be able to defeat them at sea.
Yeah, I think if you're the Knights, you've just got to try and get your troops together on an island and force them to have to do a landing, because they're heavily outnumbered. But if they can,
but then
try and fight as a coastal landing, they can obviously
The Mamluks only have 11 transports, so they should be able, with 8 troops and a leader and a crossing penalty.
Yeah.
Would they be able to get a crossing penalty? Let's take a look. The Mamluks leaders have a maximum of 2 maneuver, whereas the Knights have 1.
Oh, that's not good though. He's getting caught. He's got light ships caught by the Mamluks.
Yeah, he's reinforcing. He's committing. The Mamluks are also committing. Yeah, those light ships are, one of them dead already. The other
Mamluks rolled a 1 twice. And then they rolled a 12.
9 and then a 2. Oh my god. No, this is not this is not winnable.
Ooh.
But what you can often do against the AI is they want to keep their blockades up. So if they can hit them, they might be able to swing things here. It looks like Constantinople is going to bear the brunt of the early Mamluks advance here. They've got about 30,000 men rolling into Constantinople, another 18,000 rolling into Adana. This might finally be the knock down a peg that the monarchists kind of seem like they need, because they've just been cruising in a lot of areas so far. And we'll see. This is definitely a setback. And obviously if they demand something in this peace deal, like release Byzantium, that's a big step backwards for the monarchist team and their ability to dominate that ever important Bosphorus area. Beautiful trade node. Great development area.
There's a substantial player war happening against Venice as well, just to the west of here, with Wallachia and Hungary taking on Venice and winning at the moment. They're sieging down Treviso.
They've booted the Papal States out of that war from earlier now. Just left with Venice.
Venice's fleet is powerful, but of no use.
Obviously got that Albanian core left to be taken back, as well as where else is yes, Naxos is also
they're getting sieged down by Hungary at the moment.
Yep. That said, though, some pretty substantial rebel issues right now. Serbian separatists are rising up in the north here, so could provide a distraction.
It's a lot of attrition on that siege on Constantinople now. 34,000 troops.
Oh my god,
they've got sat on it.
Yeah. How much of manpower have they got? Are they in trouble? No, they got 43,000. It's not going to be an issue. But I don't know. They've broken the blockade. It looks like the Mamluks have had to limp home to repair. But the Mamluks, they're down to 7 combat effective ships.
It's one of the problems if you do a game and you attack the Ottomans, make them very weak, and then you have to deal with a very strong Mamluks.
Yeah.
You don't always realize that that's the side effect, because they've got like 45,000 troops now. The Mamluks, and the Ottomans have obviously been. I mean, they have like 5k. The Ottomans at this point. It's not good.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, 37. Sorry, where's their troops gone? Oh, they're in Georgia.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. I'm not sure. They're not at war. They were trying to go and I think deal with rebels somewhere or something.
Yeah, maybe. And Georgia just getting their took slightly too much attrition in their Desmond siege and actually stopped the siege by mistake there, I think. But got that going again now. Meanwhile, in the west, the Aragonese siege taking quite a while. This Valencia siege seems like it's been going on a while, but they're getting there now. They're getting there without the blockade. It's obviously a little bit slower. I'm not sure. Navarra may not be aware that there is no Aragonese fleet to actually stop them sending their troops round, but they're just sitting here, still protecting trade for now, helping their fiscal situation. Aha! Here it is. Navarra has taken exploration ideas. The first player to have done so, I believe. Unless Desmond also did that. No.
Yeah, but Brittany doesn't have it either.
Yeah. So that's the first player hitting in there with exploration. So we'll see if they can start cruising around Africa, getting some of those trade company investments done quicker. It's gonna be pretty good. Keeping an eye on the Knights right now. They're going on the offensive, sieging down Halab. That's aggressive. That is aggressive.
They're gonna take Constantinople, but they're if only they could blockade them on that side of the strait.
But here comes the Mamlukian army. Oh, they are doing it. They're putting the ships in. They're going for the blockade. It's a bold move.
The Knights have got 5 shock general.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Holy heck, that is pretty impressive. And yes, Sea of Maramara. This looks like it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Now they can't get 34k trapped.
Yeah, you got to feel a little bit sorry for the Valachians getting this massive army trapped on their side of the strait, but that's good for the Knights. This could be a turning point.
They're still outnumbered, but with the additional shock, if they can fight the battle on favourable terrain.
Even more numbers coming in here,
what we're looking at with morale, we're looking at 3.7 morale for the Knights. The Mamluks have got 3.5.
Yep. Any discipline changes?
Where's the discipline?
Oh, here they go. They're going on the offensive. They're taking the penalty, and it's almost 2-1. This is going to be a decisive fight.
Knights have got more discipline.
I don't believe. I'm sorry. It's just the numbers are just telling. And there's the 0 roll. The Knights versus the Knights.
0. Oh no. Oh,
the Knights, they fought so hard. And they're in serious stack wipe danger now. That's not good.
That's quite unlucky. Good. They've rolled 3 zeros during that battle.
Yeah. And now they're retreating back up to Wallachia, but we'll see.
0 via 9 is just it's just never going to end well.
They need to get the Wallachian troops over the strait somehow, like around the Mamluks, because they have military access through the Ottomans, so they can just walk over, just head off across Gallipoli Strait.
Yeah, so the Knights, do they now have outright naval superiority? Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if the
13 galleys to 5, so they're in a strong position now to transport troops around if they need to, if they can.
Yeah, definitely. Global number of wars thinning somewhat. Navarra obviously has taken their PU, presumably. Yes, they didn't take any land as well. No, they just took the overall PU. Okay, Genoa not releasing the Sicilian subject. In fact,
big turnaround for Sweden right now. This war is dragging on. It involves Holland. Holland's getting quite painfully blockaded, and has been for a little while. It's only at 45% currently, but they're suffering a little bit. And now the English are deploying troops to Scandinavia.
Oh yes, so they are.
The war. I mean, this was I think minus 40% in Denmark's favor, and now Sweden's winning. So
could yet be turned around. Ah, nice. Okay, I'm being told that Navarra has written a nice letter to Mallorca. Could I possibly commission you to
let me see that out? In the propaganda channel? I'm scouring the Discord for the relevant channel.
That this does seem like the place to square off. Look at those player borders between team 5 and 18 right here. That is crazy. I think eyes should remain fixed on the Knights right here. Are they? I'm surprised they're not just heading back over the strait. I mean, Wallachia clearly has access, so yeah, you'd think they'd be heading over here, but we'll see. Oh, they're going in for an attack on the Mamluks in Constantinople. That seems, let's say, bold. They've got the morale advantage. They've got a tactics advantage now and a serious discipline advantage. No, it looks like they might actually pull it out, but that's going to be close. That's going to be close. Yeah, they're pulling it out, even with some pretty good rolls for the Mamluks. But the problem is
0 again.
The problem is, even with a win here, which is still going to be close, this is kind of bleeding to no huge effect because, the fight needs to be the other side of the strait. I don't think that was a great idea, honestly. It's impressive. Do not get me wrong.
The manpower is so heavily in the Mamluks' favor that they're gonna, if they fight a battle like that where it's really bloody on both sides, it helps. Or they're gonna stack wipe them.
Yeah. Oh, nice. They did manage to bring the troops in. Okay, if they can make the stack wipe work, so that's a little sneaky of them. They're moving the ships in and out.
Stack wipe.
And there they go. Stack wipe. Okay, well I take it back. That might well save them. Presumably, we're going to see the Mamluks re-raising a big army down here. Yep, I see the fires of industry burning across Egypt. But if they can monopolize on that in time, it should be good. Should be good. All right, so we do have this letter now. Would you like to do the honors?
Yes. To the pirates of Majorca, this is from Navarra. Your villainy and reckless evil have gone on far too long unaddressed. The people of Navarra cry out at the terrible injustices you have inflicted upon the Basque people and totally reject the insulting borders you have scribbled in crayon across Iberia. Know that we shall consider this from henceforth unto Judgment Day to be a, quote, dick move. Yours in loathing, the Kingdom of Navarra.
You have to respect it. That's pretty good.
I like it. If there are any players watching, more letters like that, and the grander and more fancy the language, the better I appreciate it. So please, give me your best.
I'm also being told by some anonymous friends that the poor country of Ryazan is being aided by anonymous friends to free themselves from the Novgorodian yoke. They are doing this by funding their cause. So we'll see if anything comes of that. Right now, their Liberty Society is up there at 100%. So they're primed for a breakaway war, and Novgorod might struggle to reach them. Novgorod with okay relations with Lithuania though, so probably be able to get access around that way. But we'll see. We'll see if anything fires up there. And yes, that's true. I hadn't quite spotted this. Thank you. The Teutons actually have Galicia. How do you say this one? Volhynia.
That sounds right.
Get Zlewek in here. Give us some help on that one maybe. But they've got that vassal established, so there's ample room for some Polish partitioning to go on with some serious vassal feeding there. Teutons currently just fighting the Danzigian separatists. Yeah, classic. No blue flames yet over there, but let's keep eyes over here on the Knights. There it is. Look at that. The Mamlukian call to war. The muster has begun. And they are marching north. It looks like the Knights have no interest in actually pushing out from Constantinople. They're just going to hang back. They're just going to hold the situation here. And probably relying on the ticking war score and the blockades, I suppose, to actually bring home the victory in this war, it looks like. Not going to try and press their advantage. You know they want one province in Syria for that glorious vassal feed. I mean, look at that.
Yes.
Everybody loves feeding Syrian cause, but it doesn't look like they think they're able to push the advantage on that for this one.
Just to give a mention to Medina, who we haven't talked about yet, which is Team 12. They're just busily eating their way into East Africa at the moment. The war against Medri Bahri.
Oh yes, so they are. Okay, looks like they slightly struggled to expand earlier, but now they've got that Mamlukian alliance. Interestingly, so they could kind of shake things up.
Yes, I mean if they can sort of get down into East Africa, Ethiopia, and sort of monopolize that area, and long term spread down to the gold mines of Ethiopia and Matapa, and build a power base there. There isn't going to be a lot. There's nothing that can stop them. There's no players down there, at least not yet. So they just got to sort of build it up slowly from their quite small start, and have Mamluk as a friend until they grow powerful enough to throw off their AI allies.
So the Mamluks are down 20,000 manpower since we last looked, and they are sending another force over to Constantinople. So if the Knights and Wallachia feel like they're able to repeat their trick with the old shattered retreat switcheroo, we'll see if they're able to do another stack wipe up here. It's not looking like the Mamluks are taking the bait right now because they did block the strait. So the Mamluks are not actually able to go over. Maybe they're not interested in taking another fight. They'd rather just get the win on ticking wall score. You can't blame them, really. But now they're suffering a little. The Cretan separatists have just taken control. Did Scotland get vassalized by Desmond in the end? Yes, indeed they did. Lubeck, interestingly, maneuvering men into Scotland right now, potentially. We're looking at some blue flames up there. Salzburg, let's take a look at the HRE. We've been a little absent from the HRE so far. Salzburg going pretty aggro, allied to Strasbourg, of course, both players. Just eating up a few of those. Most of Bavaria, well, central Bavaria has fallen to Strasbourg so far. A little bit extras to be grabbed. Ansbach is the latest victim of their aggressions, but
yeah, Magdeburg taking a few provinces now as well. They've grown. You've got these powers sort of converging on central Germany. And
yeah.
3
Oh,
leagues
look at Magdeburg's borders. That is lovely. This is just the give me Berlin border. I like it. I like it. Always love to see the noodly appendage aggressive strategy is always a reputable one. Meanwhile, the Mamluks just stuck their side of the strait, not really able to do too much at all, and yeah, the Knights again just content to hold their side of things there. Taking a glance over here, Wallachia at war. I think Brittany is at war now. Who have they gone after? Another war against Provence for Brittany. I think this is probably a Burgundian one. Yes, indeed. Burgundy going for a war there. Duke Charles, is he a general? That would be often. He's not, which means that he's less likely to suddenly croak. But you know Charles, he has a tendency for not being the best at his own survival instinct. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, I think Albania stands to be a really big winner. I'm not sure what the relationship is between Wallachia and Albania, whether or not they're going to be working together in terms of partitioning lands, or if
they're allies for now.
Yeah.
Another fight in Constantinople. This time the numbers are on the other foot, and it really doesn't like they're going to be able to.
Oh, the Mamluks rolled a 9 against 0.
Again.
They've rolled really well, the Mamluks. The Knights have got so unlucky with some of their rolls.
I'm surprised that the Mamluks are only at -10 on this war. It seems like things. I mean, they've lost all the major battles, and there's the stack wipe. Nice. Only at 13%, but because they've lost Cyprus. I see.
Yeah, the war score. They've got quite a lot of banked war score against that.
Yeah, just because Cyprus. I mean, it hasn't actually gone over to Mamluks, of course, but the rebels on Cyprus. But
yeah, no one controls Cyprus. Is what it says.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But once they take that should sway things back at least a bit. But
Byzantine separatists in Cyprus.
Yeah. The other way to think of that, of course, is it's just they're just maintenance-free defense forces. You don't need to pay for, basically, just holding down Cyprus for them there, basically.
Yes, there's nothing more frustrating when you're invading a nation and then their rebels start firing, and it causes more of a problem for you than the actual armies of the nation you're fighting.
Any other wars kicking off? Not yet. Okay, so chat, while things are relatively stable here, obviously the Ottoman situation about to heat up, as everybody expects. Who is the next player not to triumph, but to be eliminated? Who do you think is teetering on the precipice? I have to say, my vote is actually Mallorca. They obviously have a strong situation. They've done well to grab those potentially fed vassals, but they're just so up against it with the monarchist faction being so powerful and surrounding them so much that I feel like they're teetering. It's conflict there. Novgorod has declared their war. So they're going in against the weakened Sweden. You have to respect it, jumping on the potential there, and not marching in yet.
So there was a response.
Oh no, sorry, they actually allied with Denmark, and they're in
interesting.
defending Denmark against Sweden. Okay. Interesting.
They want to eat some. Interestingly, they're allied with Denmark. Obviously, started making the calculation that Sweden will be easier to get if they're under Denmark. I'm assuming. So I imagine they want to eat some Swedish land.
You would think, but I mean, Denmark unlikely to give them any land in this war. None of it marked special interest, and couldn't mark any of it because Denmark obviously has all of Sweden as critical interests. So it makes me wonder: are they just after a strong alliance? Because Denmark plus Norway, Sweden, obviously a nice person to have in your corner.
They might be hoping they can just print a bunch of favors from this war and then use them against Muscovy or whoever they're targeting.
Yep, that's very plausible. I think a strong kind of Kalmar attack against Muscovy, looking like that might well be enough.
Mallorca did do a response to the letter sent to them by Navarra.
Oh yes.
It just says, "Come paint us."
Okay. I think unfortunately for Mallorca, they might. I mean, this is This is a situation where Navarre themselves, not so many men, but they've got the backing. Have they got the favors with Castile? They don't quite, and they're getting presumably not that many at the moment. About one a year, well, a bit more than one a year actually, but we will see. We will have to see.
Yeah, a couple of wars in France now. Brittany has joined the Burgundian War for Savoy.
Yeah.
And then we've also got France and Britain. Sorry, France and England are in an AI war against each other. France is winning. They're sieging down Aquitaine. And that's fairly straightforward. England does not have the well, I mean, what are they doing? They're still all in. Yeah, they're still in Scandinavia. Well, actually, they've got troops sieging down Denmark. Yeah, so that should be fairly straightforward. And they've still got England 20,000 troops in Ireland for reasons that escape me.
And Novgorod not moving men in to actually help with the Swedish war, which doesn't really line up with the idea they're going for those favors, because obviously it's based on participation. So
yeah, and you can, and if you want to optimize for that, you can print a lot. If you help a nation out a lot with their war, you can get like 40, 50 favors sometimes.
Lubeck in a bit of a bad way here. They're getting trounced by the AI so far. In a war against Lüneburg, Stettin, Wolgast, and Friesland.
Oh yikes! Yeah, they're in big trouble. They're gonna get stack wiped if they're not careful.
They do have the numbers for the war, the current fight in the east, but I mean they're up against it in this war. They need to get an ally in here. They've got the Isles backing them up, but
it's only 3K and they're still in the Isles.
Yeah, they're almost 2-1 down.
Yes, but they're not set to do anything. The Isles, they haven't set them to.
Do they have the transports? I mean, they'd struggle to.
Probably not. No.
Oh! I'm being told.
They need to attach.
We must move our eyes east because Novgorod just declared war on Muscovy. They have called in the Teutons to obviously bring all of their subjects, and Kazan has come in on the assistance. Obviously, Ryazan, the subject, having to come in on their side as well. But Kazan probably promised land in this war, I would have to imagine. Let's take a look. Yes,
it's
indeed.
A big numerical advantage for Novgorod's side here.
2-1.
And on the manpower, Muscovy's only got 19k manpower, so yeah, he's going to be struggling a lot here.
Definitely. That's a pretty much a death knell for Muscovy, I think.
Yeah, Pskov's just got his army caught in Kolm.
Yep. That's going to be a pretty big turnaround for Novgorod. This is going to really solidify them as their position. But yeah, I'm told there's a treaty. If we could possibly have that sent to our channel, that'd be really helpful, so we could take a look. Novgorod with the treaty, I assume you mean. Peace in our time between the Knights and Mamluks, by the way. Looks like that thing. Yeah, I mean it's got to hurt as the Knights there, because sure, you managed to come out of that without losing anything, but in a multiplayer game, when you send 6 years to get nothing, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the world, Holland just still facing off against a big blockade. Novgorod, wow, look at that. With the assistance of the Teutons as well. I wonder how the relationship between Novgorod and the Teutons is going to develop, because once Novgorod's eaten up Muscovy, they're probably going to expand into Lithuania, which is also kind of the Teuton stomping ground. So whether those two stay friendly or whether things start to heat up a little bit will be interesting, because, of course, remember, Novgorod is in the Traders League, whereas the Teutons are theocratic. So this kind of cross-league cooperation could be built on shaky foundations. We shall see. And look at this. This is exact. These are the moments in EU4 that you're just like, yes, everything according to plan. The player is carpet sieging down the AI. Meanwhile, the AI is sieging down the other AI. Perfect. Kazan totally eating it in this war against war with Muscovy right now. Meanwhile, Novgorod just quietly sieging things down. You love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, just happy to siege down the Muscovy's AI allies and then pick them up one by one. Are they allies or vassals? They're sort of vassal, aren't they? No, they're not ally. No,
that's one of the changes in the mod that we're running to make things more interesting today was Muscovy lost all their vassals.
Okay.
So the 3 leagues are jumping on this Burgundian opportunity, seeing if they can yoink Geneva, it looks like. in a little quick conflict down here. They just sticking with that for now. Brittany, I'm not sure why Brittany has stacked up so many men in this province. They're probably reluctant to move any because they're not sure which one's the siege leader. Wanting to make sure they're getting credit here. We'll see. And they have I was going to say they have manpower to burn. They actually really don't. Ah, interesting. Brittany getting a bunch of claims against England. So we'll see if they end up heading in there. But, yeah, we'll go. We'll go. Okay. Muscovy. Yeah, still just trying to push into Kazan. The Novgorodians just trying not to overextend too much. Looking like that's working so far. They've got the Muscovy siege ongoing. Georgia still just at peace. No war with the Ottomans yet. How many men do the Ottomans have?
38,000 troops, the Ottomans.
Okay. So, I mean, that's honestly quite
currently
even between them and their potential enemies. Because we're going to be looking at Wallachia, Albania, obviously Moria, Georgia. Maybe Genoa will get in on this Ottoman situation. Have they got any claims? They've not. Interestingly, Genoa does have a claim on Rhodes, so maybe they're thinking of making a play against the Knights. We will have to see. Oh, and Epirus exists. I missed that. Cool. They're in the Venice trade node. Right. Sorry, the Venice Trade League. Okay. Meanwhile, up in the north, yeah, situations just continuing to develop to Novgorod's advantage, and Kazan still continuing to get.
Serbia still exists as well. I didn't notice. They're a march of Serbia. They're a march of Ragusa.
Right. Well, look at those cores. That is an aggressive march.
Yes.
I'm being told there are apparently tensions brewing between Albania and Wallachia. That is interesting. Okay. Well, it looks like, I mean, Wallachia, if they wanted to turn tail on Albania, you have to imagine backing up Ragusa would be a thing. And you can imagine why those tensions might start to build at this point, because Wallachia, of course, feeling like they've been bleeding for the Knights here. They've been bleeding for Albania. And what do they got to show for it? 2 measly provinces off the Ottomans. Meanwhile, Albania blobbing out, taking all of Serbia, taking parts of Greece. You have to feel like they're not feeling like they're totally satisfied in their remuneration.
The Swedish war has finished now. Sweden is still in a PU under Denmark. I'm not sure what the treaty was.
Right.
Wasn't Sweden winning?
No, they were being beaten back. They managed to make some headway, but they were eventually beaten back. I
thought we had one of those iconic peace deals where the nation wins and doesn't get independence, and decides to just take war reps and take land instead.
No, I think it was all peaceful there, all just going back to how it was before, basically. Thousands of men dead to no avail. Classic
15th century warfare.
Ragusa declared.
Almost 3 to 1.
Oh my god, there's 112,000 of them.